AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yo, that live button couldn't go fast enough, man. I wanted to flee into passionate. What? Don't care,
man,
flee.
Hit that thing, man. He upped it. Now I ain't gonna lie. Some of the young nigga slang be sounding kind of fire. He upped it. It's like fire. I don't know what this, but you know, sometimes I don't know what it means. But he's like, yeah, Fabian, I upped it on that nigga. What's up? That shit sound fire. I don't even know what that means, to be honest with you. Like,
I think they take some of our stuff and remix it. Like
they remix it. They definitely remix it.
But that upped it, I took that. No. You young niggas ain't having that. Give me
that's
that.
fire. That's fire.
What's something else they say? I'm like, yo, we used to say that, but it was casually.
Right.
Well, facts. People say facts. We used to say that's a fact. But then they took it.
Well, we used to say that's a fact.
Boom.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's
right. Oh, early in the building. The beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant. Tori B is in the building, y'all. Yes. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
We'll move on. I don't think LeBron, Stephen A. Smith. We can't finish that. No, Flea. We're done.
Put a bow on that, man. I'll catch you in traffic, man. Catch you in traffic, man. On site, man. That's it.
King Speech, what up?
King Speech.
King
the Sergeant Nick.
Oh, how dare I? Well, I was just waiting for the right time.
Ball suckers.
Oh, ball suckers.
We live.
Big Flea. Never the little one. Never the little one.
Yeah, man. Come on, man. Braun got to rehab that groin. So look. now, if Stephen A's a real Queens dude,
is he hurt?
Listen, if Stephen A's a real Queens dude, this is when you catch Braun.
Or is he tired? He said, "Let Luka take care of this. I see y'all in the playoffs."
I ain't seen Stephen A. want to talk about Jason Tatum so fast today. Bob Myers was talking about, yo, this is crazy. This is insane. What LeBron is doing. Stephen A. said, all right, enough, but let's talk about Jason. Let's talk about Jason Tatum. He wanted to segue so fast. They want to talk about Braun no more.
Did them young niggas run the old man out of town for 2 weeks and said, you know what? I see y'all in the playoffs.
Hard,
Lee,
man.
did you first of all, I'm watching the game. I rewatched some of them today.
It's hard, man.
LeBron,
Jason Tatum and Brown looked incredible yesterday.
LeBron takes like 6 3-point shots. They're all short. That last play he got hurt on was a pump fake, spin, and hit the layup. And it was like, okay, LeBron. Then he just saw that he limps off the court. I'm like, so all you guys that keep telling me that he's a first option, he's a second option, yeah, for 2 weeks. And that's what happens. And it happened last year too. When did they win the in-season tournament? The in-season tournament sounds crazy. When did they win? 2 years ago?
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. Against Indiana, I think, yeah.
And they deflated. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't rely on them. You want a champion, and then, that's what you talk, boy, you want that guy to play 3 rounds?
I mean, let's discuss. Let's discuss.
Please. Let's talk about that game first. It was a great game. Luka was bringing them. Well, they were coming back, but it's more like Boston was going up and down. They were going through their roller coaster. LeBron sits down. I think they were down by 8. Then Luka hit the 3. They were down by 6. Made it a game. He was hurt, holding his back from the beginning, so he was nervous from the jump. Then Braun pulled his groin. Celtics pulled away, but they never. That was the only time we thought. Well, the first half was great. Actually, I'm sorry. The first half was really good with the Lakers and Celtics. That third quarter, the Celtics was like, "Yo, this is championship over here, bro." And in that fourth quarter, we saw what happened. And what you think? Are you still impressed? You still? I don't want to say expect the championship, AllBall, because your words, what Flea is trying to say is that your words were, "Why aren't we talking about a championship with the Lakers?" Did you see anything yesterday? I was like, "Yo, why can't they hang with the champs?"
Oh, I said it from the beginning. Yesterday's game doesn't sway or change my opinion. I think, when you have 2 players like LeBron and Luka, that's championship or bust. That's not first, second round. That's not to get to the conference finals. Yesterday the Lakers, like you said, the first half, listen, they hung in there. We just all have to be honest. Boston Celtics is a juggernaut. And when they are knocking down shots, they are going to be difficult to beat for anybody, whether it's the Lakers, OKC, whoever it is, Cleveland. I don't care who it is. And let's not forget, Porzingis is not there, which is a rim protector, a rebounder, and he's also a three-point shooter. So, I didn't expect the Lakers to win. I never want the Lakers to win. Let me just get that off my chest. But I didn't expect the Lakers to win. LeBron James is still playing great basketball. As much as I don't want to admit it, he's still, right now, he's top 10 best basketball players in the world at the age of 40. He's playing that well this season. Can't take that away from him. But I think yesterday made him realize I got to save my energy for the playoffs. They are, I think, are they the 2 seed now?
Three.
Right.
The 3 seed.
Well, right. The third, right.
Hold on, because they lost.
Right. Until they lost yesterday, Boston, they were the 2 seed. So I think LeBron said, we're the 2 seed. Worst case scenario, we drop down to 4-5. That's fine. At least we're not in the play-in. I think LeBron realized I gotta save myself for the playoffs. But yesterday was a hell of a game, and I think the NBA would love to see that in the finals. That old rivalry, the history with Boston and LA. Lakers was also missing some guys, Hachimura, and I think somebody else.
Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes, I think, which is those 2 guys being missed is a lot, just as well as Boston missing Porzingis. Let's not forget, Drew Holiday is not 100% healthy. He still has that nagging thumb injury, which is affecting his shot offensively, but he's still a beast on the defensive end. So they both have injuries, but yesterday was yesterday, huh?
So you're sounding mad professional right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even understand how that happens at times. So listen, man, sometimes you that good, man, that shit just slips in sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But all seriousness, that shit was a hell of a game. And when that first quarter, I text my brothers and I said, there's no way in the world our Knicks are hanging with teams like this with that first quarter that was displayed yesterday. That shit was crazy. It was back and forth, up and down, fast paced, 3-point shot after 3-point shot. But the Lakers, the only way I'm gonna say that they are in trouble is you have 2 players. LeBron at times can play defense. Can he do it for a whole game? I don't know. But Luka Doncic, let me tell y'all something, man. As good as that young man is, he has to be number one complaining to the refs. I've seen 2-3 times where yesterday they either stripped the ball from him, blocked the ball, and while he's crying to the refs for a call, the play is gone. And he's not getting back on defense. So I honestly think that's going to be a problem for the Lakers. That's going to be a problem for JJ Redick, because if he's the great coach that we think he is, and he holds his guys accountable, how are you going to hold Luka accountable for plays like that when it's in the playoffs, where you may give up a bucket or 2 because while you back there complaining and crying, your guys off to the races. But I think the Lakers are championship contention. Now, does it mean they're going to win the championship? I don't know. Because watching OKC today, which I'm pretty sure we're going to talk about, another juggernaut with the best player in the NBA. So yesterday, to me, just proved that the Boston Celtics is that much better than everybody in the league. No disrespect to OKC, no disrespect to Cleveland, and never no disrespect to our Knicks. But the Boston Celtics said yesterday, the game before that, we're going to sit our guys and we're going to show up Saturday night, primetime, Channel 7, and let the world know we ain't to be fucked with. And before I let Fleet cook, I have to give an apology and much respect to that head coach. I said he was overrated. I said at times, he got he adopted a team that was already great. But that young man is a great fucking coach. I love his mindset. I love his sound bites. I just love how he carries himself. And that team embodies his attitude, his mindset. He don't go for shit. And he represents his team and his guys to the fullest. So I didn't see this coach being that good. But that young man can coach the game of basketball. So I had to say that because I used to shit on him and I was dead wrong. But the Boston Celtics is that good. But I can't take nothing away from the Lakers. They've been beating good teams. And Luka and LeBron is looking like top 5 best duos in the NBA since Luka got there. And just because they lost one game and, struggled and lost to the best team in the NBA, as much as I want to hate on them and kick them while they down, I think when you have Luka and LeBron, I think that's enough to win a championship. Will they win it? I highly doubt it. But you're not going to tell me a team like that, with how they've been playing lately, shouldn't be title contention. But a hell of a game yesterday, and I loved every minute of it.
Joe Mazzulla, I read somewhere he was doing a speech somewhere, and they were saying it was like kind of boring, and it got, whatever. And he stopped all of a sudden. It was pouring rain outside, and he was like, my son likes to ride his bike, and I make him ride his bike out there when it's pouring rain also, because if you like to ride the bike when it's sunny, you got to ride the bike when it's raining. And I'm like, yo, Joe Mazzulla, let the little kid, can the kid be a kid, man? That's AllBall. That's the mindset for the Celtics. Do you believe that? Did they fully embody it? And what was your reaction to the game?
Yeah, I mean, I guess they embody him, who he is. I think he's still making a name for who he is as a head coach, right? Last year was his first year as a head coach. Was it last year or 2 years ago? Whatever it was, it's the last 2 to 3 seasons. So I still think
2 years ago, I think, right?
Yeah. So he's still making his name as a head coach. I like what he's done. He's a head coach that's won a championship early on in his career. So that usually props you up early, right? Spoelstra wins a championship early on, so that puts him at a certain level, and then he has to maintain this level of being a great coach, right? I haven't seen Joe Mazzulla in any adversity yet, just in terms of trying to figure out rosters. He has a great roster. He has a great team, and I don't care what anybody says. Great coaches always have great teams. Find me a great coach that doesn't have a great team, and we can have a conversation. So, it goes hand in hand. But that game yesterday, I thought Boston just reminded the rest of the league, right? Primetime Saturday night, ESPN, ABC, that they ready for whoever y'all throw in front of him. So whoever comes out the West, they with it. Dallas, OKC, LA, Denver, whoever comes out the Western Conference, we are ready. The fact that you can rely is a huge word, right? Because Fabian was saying you can't rely on LeBron James to be a number one guy, which I agree. You can't rely on him to be the number one guy going through the entire 82-game season and through the playoffs. So this is a beautiful move to have Luka Doncic. But being able to rely on your defense the way that Boston does, they're going to go through lulls where they don't hit shots. That's what happens. They don't hit shots and they let you back in the game, right? LA crept right back into that game. It was a 3 to 4 point game, and now this is a completely different game. But for some reason, Boston knows how to shut that water off and just get stop after stop after stop after stop. You watch Al Horford still out there sliding his puppies. He was one of the primary defenders last night on Luka Doncic. Al Horford is one of the primary defenders last night on Luka Doncic. I just want to say it again. Let that marinate, right? Al Horford, right? Obviously, Jaylen Brown took a lot of that responsibility. I thought he did a great job on Luka. Luka's Luka. He's going to get his. But just in terms of making it tough, you know that Luka's having a tough night with the proper defense on him when from the word go, he's complaining to the refs. That's how you know that you frustrating him. You getting him to take shots he don't want to take. You being a little physical with him, all of that kind of stuff. And so I thought from the gate, Boston did a hell of a job doing that. And they just rode that all the way through. 30-point game from Jaylen Brown, 40-point game from Jason Tatum. Go ahead, talk to Darlene B.
Thank you, Flea, for the reminder. That's what wingmen and great brothers do. They don't hate, like this guy on the other side. Beautiful. The lovely, the extravagant. Miss Darlene Bryant is in the building. But hold on, fellas. We have another young lady I'm seeing, Aja Live. Big shout out to her as well. The beautiful, the lovely Aja Live. Let's just say this. We love when women tune in, and we love women that love the sport of basketball, just sports in general. Y'all do something to me inside. I don't know what it is. But big shout out to the ladies man. But Tory B, Darlene Brown, who's been supporters from the beginning. Love y'all. And Aja love. Much love and respect. We hope you tune in every time. But big shout out to the ladies, fellas. Y'all know the drill. Say hi to the beautiful ladies and please be respectful.
Darlene B, what up, baby? But yeah, just their defense, man. Just their defense. You know what they look like on the offensive end. They probably have the best duo in the NBA right now, just in terms of experience, playing together, winning championships, right? Like that Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. I hate to do it to my OG right now, but OG is one of those guys that said about a year and a half ago, 18 months ago, yo, it's time to break that thing up, man. Time to break that thing up. It's Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, time to break that thing up.
I was dead wrong.
Right. And so they have really figured out how to elevate each other, how to play off of each other. And you getting two guys that gonna put the ball in the basket, but guess what? On the other end, they're gonna get down and dirty. They're gonna play defense. They're gonna take charges. They just gonna do everything you need from your superstars on both ends of the floor. So obviously LA was shorthanded, but like I said, you get these guys in it. The trades that happened, right? The trades that happened over this, especially the probably the two biggest ones, three biggest ones, excuse me. Anthony Davis to Dallas, Luka Doncic to LA, and then obviously Jimmy Butler to Golden State. Right? All of those three guys, perennial all-stars, top 15 to top 20 players in the NBA. When they come through the door, when they get into the gym, yes, you're probably going to hit a stride, right? You're going to win a bunch of games. It's going to be infectious. The energy is high. Everybody's happy. But it's all about when you lose one, when you lose two, when you lose three in a row, how do you react? And so that's what I want to see from the LA Lakers. They lost the game against Boston, right? It's a tough loss in Boston. Braun goes down. Now Luka. This is a preview of what it may look like 2-3 years from now when LeBron James is not a part of the Lakers no more. How do you figure out your way through this? JJ Redick, how are you going to coach through this? Now, usually you have one or the other. When AD was in the building, okay, Braun is down, AD is here. Now you got to coach your way through having Luka as your main guy. What kind of adjustments are you going to make? Right? I know we'll get to it, but I know OG is high on Golden State, and I think they're playing amazing basketball. But when adversity hits, what are they going to look like? What's it going to look like when things are not going their way, when shots are not falling, when Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green don't not agree on things? How does that look? How does that affect the other guys? Golden State is used to having multiple shooters, multiple role players, multiple guys that can defend. I don't trust a lot of them niggas over there. I trust Jimmy. I trust Steph. I trust Draymond. After that, who do we trust? Andrew Wiggins ain't there no more. So I just want to see how things matriculate with these teams that made these moves. But big win for Boston yesterday. I think that's a statement win. OG made a great point. They sat their guys prior. The game before, I seen Jaylen Brown in street clothes with the Scully on, black Scully, like locked in, ready to go. He looked like he was ready to play that night, right? So obviously the Lakers beat us the other night, so I was happy for them to get their ass kicked by Boston. So a lot of basketball left to play, fellas. A whole quarter of the season to go. So we got some good games coming up.
I think the same way we give props to Joe Mazzulla, I think that with the Lakers, they were doing well before Luka got there. AD was down, and they started that 9-2 run. They smoked us the night that they traded for the AD. Smoked us in the Garden. JJ Redick has just been just not everything that I thought he would be, because I don't think we could. Like I don't know when people say this guy's a good coach, this guy's a bad coach. When people start vouching for other people, it's like, okay, so you guys have a relationship. JJ Redick came into the game in the Lakers, was very loud, cursing during the press conferences. Kendrick Perkins, his former peers, co-workers at ESPN, Kendrick Perkins, yo, you better not have that attitude with them players. They ain't gonna listen to you like that. It's that, and the third, it was like, he's a big target. So for him to perform at this level on the Lakers, I don't think, I gotta say it's as impressive as anybody in the NBA. That's number one. LeBron James is next to you. It's always a story. You got to deal with Bronny. Everything they're throwing at you. We didn't expect the Lakers to be the second seed, and they were headed there before Luka got there. They were fixing it. So the Lakers are playing impressive. But that being said, this is why they're not gonna win no damn championship. OKC, Boston, they ain't playing no games. They all okay. That's nice, LeBron. They 7 games. We got 7 games to figure you out. All right, you want to go 6, LeBron? You're gonna be tired as hell. They could switch all day. You made a point, Flea, about Golden State. Can they prove something? We'll get to them in a second, but they got them 2 guys, them 2 boys at the end of the game. They can make it happen. Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. The Lakers, they got Luka. You know, Luka's a gun at the end of a game. All they got to do is keep it close every game. And Luka is a threat. Everybody's scared to death. If Luka got the ball, you down by 3, if you down by 1 or 2 with Luka with the ball in his hands, we're all scared to death. I don't care who you are.
Oh, sure.
I don't care who you are. So they got that figured out. But OKC and the Boston Celtics, the way they could switch on defense is crazy. Al Horford was guarding Luka Doncic most of the game. JJ Redick had to salute him like, yo, yeah, we were trying to take advantage of the big man, switch to them, and like Al Horford is still good, man. He gave him his props.
He's still good, man. I like how you said that. He's still good, man.
So Dominicano, but who got Horford? Love it. I loved it. I love what I was seeing.
There you go.
So for me, Joe Mazzulla, I don't know if I don't think they totally capture his personality because he has a dark side to him. He's dead serious, and some of it rubbed off on them, but they're still a finesse team to me, the Celtics. They're still finesse. They can be beat. They score a lot of points. Their number one threat, which was what I hated, what the Celtics got better at, the Cavaliers got better at, they got deep. They added, like, to your point, I see you, Sugarman. They added DeAndre.
Sugarman, what up, Sugarman? Big baby Jonathan in the building. What up, big baby? Sugarman, what up?
Big baby.
They added DeAndre Hunter to that team, and now you got 6, 7, 8 guys that can put the ball on the floor. The Lakers, they can get the ball around, and Luka does a lot of his ball stopping or whatever. The Celtics, it just feels like one-on-one a lot of times. It's such a threat with Jaylen Brown, super duper guys. Drew Holiday, we forget, has some of the greatest moments in championship history. Offense and defense will rip you, hit tough shots. The way they put him in the dunker spot, the way they figure out how to get him the ball in Boston is amazing. Amazing. And that's what they were missing. Marcus Smart, that was the upgrade to Marcus Smart, who would turn the damn ball over and at any given time in crunch time. So with Drew Holiday, just a clutch player. You talk about clutch, that's a guy. He probably embodied Joe Mazzulla. And what Flea always said, point guard is the floor general. He's the extension of the coach. You got him out there. I know Tatum handles a lot of the offense, but Drew Holiday's the guy, the lead dude on their defense. Him and Derek White. Damn, that kid Derek White. Then this guy will go off. What's my man with the handle? Not is it Pritchard? Yeah, 6-man Pritchard.
Peyton Pritchard, 6-man of the year. He got, just give him the award. Just don't
Easily.
Yeah, here you go.
And just hold on, Fabian, just real quick on the switch off with him. Boston trusts their defense and their players so much. Even Peyton Pritchard is a pest on defense to where they don't even double team. Even if it's a bigger, larger guy, they let Peyton Pritchard handle it. So even with Al Horford, like you said, it's spectacular.
Yeah. I could, because he was going LeBron, and you can see how he's half his size. He's just trying to hold on.
He blocked Luka,
right? And that's a testament to what you're saying with Joe Mazzulla in a lot of ways. I think Joe Mazzulla, in his heart of hearts, he wants a guy. He wants an Isaiah Stewart. He wants somebody on that court who's gonna do some wild shit that he's thinking of to set the game on fire at any given time. If you ask him, if you put him to the side, give him some truth serum, because he's that kind of dude. Nah, I want a dude who's gonna set the tone, be an enforcer. Who is the enforcer?
Yo, listen, man. Joe Mazzulla, like I said, Joe Mazzulla was the point guard for the West Virginia Mountaineers back when they made that run to the Final Four. Backcourt, him and Truck Bryant. Big shout out to Truck. It's him and Truck.
Shout out Truck,
right? Yeah. But look who they played for. They played for Bob Huggins. If you know anything about Bob Huggins, you know that nigga's a great coach, but a fucking lunatic.
Kenyon Martin was just talking about that.
Bobby Huggins, he played for Bob Huggins in Cincinnati, right? Like,
so that's what he's known for. He's known for taking no shit.
Bob Huggins is really like a modern day Bobby Knight, type guy.
He's a
right?
maniac.
Just the fieriness of him, not
Right.
the antics so much as the Bob Knight, but just the fieriness,
Right.
the attention to the defensive side of the ball, and just wanting to get the most out of your guys. Like Huggy Bear different, right? Deuce is a product of Huggy Bear, right? So it's I'm not surprised that Mazzulla is the way that he is, for sure.
Absolutely. And we did talk about the Warriors. I mean, I think we covered everything with the Celtics and the Lakers.
No, but just real quick, I just want to say this before we move on. Just one day, we're gonna have to try to explain the disrespect to Jason Tatum, including me.
I mean, get to it right now.
Yeah.
Get to it right
we
now.
waiting for
Right.
That young man, when they talk about these MVP races and they talk about the top three, and he's never mentioned, the NBA is wrong. Every big game that young man comes and steps up to play. I think he's averaging 27, 28. He's on arguably the best team in the NBA between them and Cleveland and OKC. But we know in the East, as much as Cleveland is a real threat, and that move, Sugarman is correct. That move that Cleveland made at the trade deadline, getting Hunter, was legit, right? But we all know Boston Celtics have been a juggernaut for the past 4, 5, 6 years. Jason Tatum is almost like what's the quarterback in Kansas City?
Mahomes.
He's like Patrick Mahomes. He knows nothing but conference finals and finals. And coming off a championship this season, having a hell of a season, the team is a juggernaut. And he's never mentioned in the MVP race. Like I said, the list I see: SGA, Giannis,
Joker.
Joker. Then sometimes it's SGA, Joker, LeBron, and it's like, where's Jason Tatum at in this?
For sure.
I heard Colin Cowherd have a whole segment, and then I heard someone else say he's not, the face. He's not the face, or he's not this and that, because he's like a Tim Duncan, meaning his attitude or just the way he carries himself. And I'm saying, what are we preaching then? Is something wrong with that? Is something wrong with telling your child be like Jason Tatum? So for me, the disrespect for that young man needs to stop. He needs to be spoken about a lot more. How we talk about SGA and Joker and Luka and LeBron. Jason Tatum needs to be spoken about in that same sentence when we're talking about basketball. Because he has a championship and he's one of the best players in the NBA, and he has the skill set and he shows it night in and night out. Y'all can't fuck with me. But because, right, and because he doesn't have the antics or the bullshit or, the nonsense that goes on around other players outside of basketball, we're going to disrespect what he does. Listen, that young man is great. I slept on Jason Tatum. But he should be top 3 candidate MVP race. It should be SGA, Joker, and then it should be Jason Tatum. I love Giannis. His numbers is immaculate. He's not the number 1 or 2 seed. He's not one on the best team in the NBA, and he's not considered to win a championship this season. Jason Tatum, they need to put some respect with a K on his name. That clip of Baby going into 105.1 The Breakfast Club, that needs to be Jason Tatum to the NBA. I'm tired of y'all disrespecting me. Put some respect on my name.
I see the comments, and I would really challenge the brothers in the comments. We love everybody in the comments, but tell me what corny means when you equate it to a Jason Tatum, because corny just comes off like you just don't like him, right? That's just what it comes off as. You just don't like him. Explain to me what's corny about a guy that's been winning since he walked into the Boston Celtics organization, has been winning Game 7 in Eastern Conference Finals as a rookie against a 2018 LeBron James. 2018 LeBron James, for me, should have won the MVP that year. That's one of the best versions of LeBron James we've ever seen. He's going toe-to-toe with that dude. In multiple NBA Finals already is a NBA champion. I'm trying to understand. Could put the ball in the basket, plays on the other side of the floor, right? We could critique his game like anybody else. Does he do things that I think he could be better at? For sure. But he is a top 5, top 10 player in this league. He's been a first-team All-NBA selection for the last 3 to 4 seasons in a row. What does corny mean? Help me understand. Depict that for me. Don't just use the word and just say, oh, he's corny. What does it mean? Because all he's doing is winning. All he's doing is putting Boston in a position to be champions. All he's doing is being selfless. He don't have all of that stuff on him that other superstars have on him, which we gravitate to. Like you just said, OG, why can't we tell our young kids that are aspiring to be NBA players, yo, look at Jason Tatum and look at what he's doing. There's nothing wrong to aspire to that. Nothing wrong to aspire to that. Why do you have to aspire to Anthony Edwards? No disrespect to Anthony Edwards. I like Anthony Edwards. But what about him do we need to strive for? He got a lot of joints. Right? Like what? Help me understand.
Yeah. I don't, and I'll let Fabian. I don't understand, because he don't have swag. Well, I don't know.
That's stupid. That doesn't even make. We talking about basketball.
Once again, Tim Duncan is considered the greatest power forward of all time. Of all time. Him being corny and wearing baggy jeans. I remember when people used to laugh at him. But you know what he does on the court? Bust your ass. And I'm saying no matter how corny we think. Remember, Flea, what do I always say, Fabian? I despise Boston, Indiana, Miami, and LA. I will never, ever in my life want to give them props. But we have to be for real. Jason Tatum is figuring out a way to be on the best team in the NBA, average almost 27, 28. He has a six-man player of the year on his team. He has Jaylen Brown there with him. Come on, bro.
Hold on.
I think Sugarman gotta go, so we gotta shout him out before.
Big shout out to Sugarman. Big shout out.
Oh, he's just shouting us out, man.
Love, Sugarman.
Great show as always. Y'all be cooking. This will be the hottest show on YouTube if y'all was Cavs fans.
I take it.
Salute, much success. Yo, likewise, Sugarman. We started off rocky, but that's what happens. That's what happens. When you bag a chick, you just diss her at first, and she loves you afterwards. That's how it is, Sugarman. It's over. You wrapped into AllBall TV now, Papa.
Yo, when's your next haircut appointment?
I don't know.
Oh, I was just realizing that. Well, I'll talk to you.
Going over. I'm just trying to grow before because it grows uneven. I don't want to look like Ben Laden, but
Sugarman, love you too, my brother. You already know we love everybody in the chat. Love you too, man. Much love. We could never say it enough. Much love to everybody in the chat. Without y'all, we will not be coming up here. So much love to all of y'all, man. We really appreciate every last one of y'all that shows love, support. Y'all be in the chat, engaging. And it's all love. It's never personal. We actually love all of y'all. Sugarman, big shout out to you, man. Thank you.
I think the whole corny thing, I don't think being corny has ever mattered to be a superstar. Like if we really broke down Michael Jordan and like, if you talk to him, it's just like, what is Michael Jordan? What does he have to offer in terms of being charismatic off the court?
Fabian, I ain't gonna lie though. In Mike's heyday, Mike wasn't corny, bro. Pulling up with the suits, the Ferrari, like remember, all that was part of.
All right, now again, just like what they is not talked about. That media is not this media. We would have seen Mike looking stupid out here. But we seen him dancing. His dance moves is crazy. Zero. You even got a two-step, Mike. So I'm saying you can find somebody being corny. Don't get me wrong. Maybe that's a terrible example because Mike suited up. He was killing the game. So that's a bad example.
I get what they're saying. Like, let's not get me wrong.
Right.
You know where we from, so we understand what corny is. I was just trying to challenge my guy East Blue Drew, and I think that's Brooklyn Knicks fan, whoever that was. But whoever that was, I was just trying to challenge them to explain what corny is when we're talking about hoopers. I get what they're saying. I ain't one of them niggas that don't understand. I got it.
Everybody's not gonna be AI, bro.
Right.
There's only one AI.
Right.
We thought Ja Morant would have been something like that, but he's kind of corny. He's not as authentic, but he still comes off. There's charisma to him. Ant-Man, there's charisma to him. We want them to be the face because they have the passion that we enjoy. But Steph Curry's the perfect example of somebody that I would have never thought if you gave me a list of church guy, wife and kids, shooter, finesse player, that he would have been side by side with one of the GOATs during his time. And Steph Curry is a super duper star. He took a whole sneaker and made it bigger than what it was. You can't tell me Steph Curry's more talented than Jason Tatum. Not happening. But he's going to go down as probably a better player and more of a legend. But Tatum can make a case if he keeps it going. he doesn't bring us in to watch his game. I think a part of that goes to what I always say, bro. You 6'9", 6'10". You don't always bang on everybody. You don't bring it every day like Ant-Man, in my opinion. Ant-Man's he's in your face. There's something to Ant-Man that's just like you want to watch him. He makes everything interesting. Even the gossip about Ant-Man is interesting out here.
I think that's what it is, and that's my only critique on Tatum is the fact that you 6'9", 6'10", extremely talented. Nobody in front of you gonna stop you, but you settle for sidestep threes, and you settle for step back jumpers, and you settle for fadeaways on the baseline. Right when you could own whoever's in front of you. If Jason Tatum said tonight is my night, it could be every night. It could be 82 games of this is my night. Tonight's my night. Because can't nobody do nothing with him if he's going downhill. Going downhill, like I said, going downhill as a rookie, he was putting LeBron in the ring. Y'all remember that dunk when he dunked on as a rookie? Like, come on. So he's very capable of doing that. Look, Kobe Bryant was one of the best tough shot makers we've ever seen, right? Some horrible shots he took, but he knocked a lot of them shits down, right? Everybody's not like that. You're not going to hit the degree of difficulty, the shots that Kobe Bryant. You not him. Take high percentage shots. If Bean was 6'10", you think he would be playing around on the perimeter? He had such an IQ where I'm going to get the easiest shot I can because now I can shoot over you. Tatum has the ability to do that. That's my only critique on him. Take advantage of everybody.
But even his fadeaway, like the way he had to work on his jump, like everything about it is kind of like soft. He is kind of soft with it. I'm not gonna lie. Kobe never came off soft. Like Kobe won me over because he came through like, give me the ball. Well, he told Ruben Patterson, the Kobe stopper, he said, yo, if you wanted a new contract, bro, all you do was call me, man. And when he played Portland, he said, yo, he went to the bench, yo, give me the ball. It was like, all right, he's trying to be Mike, but he really might be Mike. I don't feel that way with Tatum, and that was corny too. I got the mama mentality. No, you don't. Very few of you do, man. It just is what it is.
But I just feel because I'm a guy that I make a lot of takes and I analyze a lot of basketball, and I don't mind being wrong. I just think Tatum, when I compare him to Patrick Mahomes, of course Pat Mahomes has more championships, but I'm just saying I think the basketball world, we are not used to a guy just winning every year. Like I said, he knows nothing less than conference finals and championships. And the commentators, the networks, they don't want that. They want that to be LeBron, KD, Curry, Joker, some of the new guys. And then you have this young man who's quiet, who's a model citizen, who's a great role model. He has his son with him all the time. Off the court, there's nothing about him. His mom's strong young lady in his life, always around him. And it's like, damn, we got to cover that.
He even knocked up a modest joint in the industry. He didn't even knock up one of them.
Listen,
she fly, but she modest.
Big shout out Kevin Durant, who said, my mom's is the real MVP. Jason Tatum, you are the real MVP. He got a fire. Listen, man.
Ella straight, but she's real modest is what I'm saying. Not somebody that's in the limelight, not somebody that who she is, but it's not glow. It's not glow, right? You know what I'm saying? Like
I think his mama would have been a little bit going crazy if it was glow.
If it was glow, he'd be MVP. Listen, if it was glow, he'd be MVP.
Look, if it was glow, East Blue Drew and Brooklyn Knicks fan would be like, no, that nigga's lit. He ain't corny, that nigga's lit.
He be in the the videos with his sneakers out on the drop top. Lit. Nah, he might get him.
He said, get him, glow.
Get him, glow. Yo, that's funny.
But in all seriousness, man, that's why I love you. That's why I love the chat. But eventually, we're gonna have to just man up and just be honest. I'm not saying Jason Tatum has to win MVP. I'm not saying he is the MVP. But we cannot year in and year out keep disrespecting him. And when they come out with this MVP list, a top 3 or top 5, he's not on there. Like I said, when he's averaging 27, 28, he's clearly the best player on his team, the best team in the NBA. And when he plays big games against great teams, he shows up. 40 clips. And I seen somebody say in the chat, I'll let you rock, Fleet. No bullshit. Every time he got the ball, like Fabian said with Luka, that shit is a bucket. Hey, listen, I'm going for the what was the genius that always looked crazy? I'm going for the Einstein look. Listen, they say all geniuses look crazy.
Nigga said AllBall could be Jason Tatum's uncle. On his mama's side. On the mama's side. On the mama's side.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Tatum is little Neff. Let me hold something.
Hold on, how many lookalikes they got so far? It was wasn't Al B. Shore. What's the they said where's Waldo one time?
Nah, Nick called me Kid Capri.
Yo,
oh nah, that was fire. Nigga called you Kid Capri. That shit was crazy.
Yo,
listen,
and they don't even say you look like him. They just go, yo, Kid Capri, and they'll go off the comment. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with you, man?
I'm telling y'all now, once we make it, this got to be in my budget. While I'm doing my tapes, look, Rick Brunson. See, look, I can look.
I didn't see it before. I can't unsee it now. Nigga said Rick.
Now we see why he's mad at him. Now we see why he's mad at Rick Brunson.
Oh, gee, I didn't see it before. I see it now.
Hey, yo, all y'all in the chat could go to hell. But when we make it big in my budget, while I'm doing my takes, the barber will be giving me shape-ups and cuts. Like right now.
Live. Like live.
So we're going to be hearing.
Right now, yeah.
Live.
Yeah, you know I hate Tip. Yo, Tip got to get fired, man. That you going to...
Gotta get the silent clippers. Go ahead, Flea. You say you want to ask me something.
I don't even remember. Oh, no. What I was going to say was, to your point, like, specify that. The last couple of times Boston's been on national TV, Saturday night, 40 clip from Jason Tatum. He came to the Garden, Knicks, 40, right?
I was there for that. I seen that live up close.
40 ball. Bron James, Luka Doncic come to Boston Garden. Here goes another 40 ball, right? Like, and this has been going on all season long. All season long, it's just been consistent great basketball from Jason Tatum. You could book him for first team All-NBA once again. He's the best player at his position once again. And, you know, big shout out to Steve Kerr for doing what you did this past summer, because he was already playing great basketball for his career. This just lit another fire and said, okay, I win a championship. I'm the best player at my position. I keep my team in the top 3 every year. And I can't even play. I can't even get minutes amongst the best of the best. Oh, no, we're going back-to-back this thing. We're going back-to-back it. Boston went back-to-back. Now you can say what they're going to say now. You could have saved that. You could have saved that. But they go back-to-back. Now it's like, okay, what they going to say now? So.
But also, I think it's not just, you know, Jason Tatum, shout out to Sugarman. Donovan Mitchell isn't. Who on Cleveland is going to get the love? Because I could say Donovan Mitchell, he's the most popular Cavalier, but is he more valuable than Mobley or Allen or Garland? I can't just say flat out that is the case. I would vote for him if I had to, because that's the most popular name. And when it's time for him to score, yeah, sure. But why isn't he standing out? Jason Tatum standing out. It's a 2-man race at this point. I just looked at the odds. FanDuel some of these sites turned off the odds on everybody else but Tatum. But SGA and Joker. So what is that? That's the media. That's us betting. That's the money you putting down, saying like, yo, it's only 2 guys, bro. Why would I put my money on, you know, Brunson at this point, whoever? So it's not, we're putting our money behind these 2, but why is that the case? Is it SGA was top 5 last year, number 1 seed? This is back-to-back number 1 seeds. Tatum fell back to the 2nd seed. I know they won the chip, but he's clearly better than Brown. But what is it? Forget if he's corny or not. Why isn't he considered more? He was 2nd seed again. 40 points against the Lakers, national TV. I am trying to figure out, how is the media? Why aren't we talking about that more and stressing it and comparing it with the SGA? Why isn't Donovan Mitchell in a conversation with SGA? They're all guards. These are all perimeter players. We understand Joker. We ain't seen nothing like him apparently, but we understand that Joker stands out of those 4. But why isn't Donovan Mitchell top tier, top seed? Tatum, second seed. Why aren't they in the conversation with SGA? I don't think we've answered that question. I'm trying to figure that out.
Damn, Fleet, you want to go? That was a great fucking question.
No, but I think it's up to us. I think it's up to us. I think it's up to the passionate fans. I think it's up to the guys that really follow the game. I don't think you leave those kind of things, unfortunately, up to the casual fan, up to the people that are in these huge platforms that can captivate millions and millions and millions of living rooms, right? Like I'm staying on these two guys, but they brought it up, and this is part of it. You think people call Jason Tatum corny out of their own volition, or you think it's influenced? I think that there's a lot of influence behind somebody calling him corny, or them not thinking that he can have that superstardom behind him. If you chose to say, yo, Jason Tatum is one of the best players in the league, he should be pumped, you can do that. You can do that. Gilbert Arenas asked Stephen A. Smith the other day on live TV, well, why? Help me understand why. You have one of the strongest voices in this space. Why? If he's one of the only guys up until 26 to have 5 first-team All-NBAs, a championship, and multiple-time All-Stars, he said he's a part of an exclusive club. But why isn't he talked about like everybody else that's in that club? It just goes back to the same things. Cleveland is playing great basketball. Nobody wants to talk about them. OKC is playing great basketball. Nobody wants to talk about them. They want to just continue to talk about what, quote unquote, ratings and viewership, but leave it up to us. That's my answer for you, Fabian. Leave it. I don't have an answer for mainstream media. I ain't mainstream media. Fuck mainstream media, to be honest. This is where it's at. This is where it's at. What we doing, what these independent platforms are doing, this is where you get the real conversations, the real shit that nobody's talking about, the things that need to be highlighted. Jason Tatum is playing out of his mind right now. He needs to be talked about amongst the best of the best. Don't get me wrong. SGA and Joker are flat out 1-2 MVPs. After that, then you could talk about everybody else. But they are clear-cut the guys this year. But Tatum, Mitchell, what they've done for their ball clubs, it has to be talked about.
Well, damn, great point. First, great question from Fabian. Then your response was just great. I'll just be quick. I just think, SGA, what helps his case is not only that he's a great basketball player on both ends of the floor, but he's turned himself into a brand. With his outfits, with his social media presence, with his modeling thing, and then also what the OKC does after they win a game with the towels, with how when they do the interviews and they do all the antics. SGA made himself a business, and Tatum just plays basketball. He doesn't maybe look at it from that standpoint, and I think the world we live in today, we love the antics. We love the nonsense. We love the noise. And Tatum is just a guy. You know that saying, Fleet, the hardworking man. You put on your Wranglers, your Carhartt, right, Fabian? I mean, and you just go to work. Compared to the guy that is all over the place. But eventually they're gonna have to come around and spin the block, because you cannot average 27, 28. Like you said, all NBA first everything. All-star starter, the best at your position. Your team year in and year out is the best team in the NBA, not just only the East. And you continue to keep getting snubbed. So,
Think about this real quick. I want to ask you, you keep going because I want to piggyback on this and give you this. Think about the pressure. We talk about New York, we talk about LA, right? We talk about playing in those markets and the type of pressure it is to. Let's talk about Boston. Let's talk about how they are the upper echelon, the cream of the crop when we talk about NBA organizations. When you walk into that building, it is championship. You look up in the rafters and you see multiple names up there. Bird, Parrish, McHale, Russell. It goes on. Havlicek. It goes on and on and on. you look around, you see banner upon banner upon banner, 16, 17. Like, so when you go in there is a level of pressure to play as a Boston Celtic, being the best player. You got to deliver. Them Boston fans, as who they are, the level of racism that's dealt with out there, how they are rabid fans, they want to win. He's a black guy as the face of that organization. There's a level of pressure, and he keeps delivering.
Listen, and just real quick, Fabian, let's not forget the city of Boston. It's not only basketball, it's football with the Patriots, it's the Bruins with hockey, and it's the Red Sox with baseball. So that whole city is under pressure to continue to be champions in every sport. And let's not forget his partner in crime, his teammate, Jaylen Brown, advocate for black people. So all of this is around Tatum. And he continues to keep his nose clean, be respectful, and continue to be great night in and night out. Like I said, eventually that's going to have to count for something. It can't just be the BS, you know? So, you know, I think what we did just now with this with this segment was great because nobody's going to highlight some of the things we highlighted. And I think Jason Tatum, eventually we're going to have to put he's corny, he's light-skinned, he's this, he's that. You got to put all that to the side. What is he doing 94 feet against the best of the best, the cream of the crop? He's busting their ass. And like I said, I don't care what nobody say. If we go all the teams fully healthy and we go, give me 1 through 5, the scariest, they will be number 1.
For sure.
Simple and plain. And he's one of the reasons. 6'9" and can do everything LeBron and Luka can do. He may not can pass like LeBron, but offensively, get to the basket, knock down a 3-point shot, defender. So for me, we eventually, you know, got to start giving Tatum props and start putting a lot of respect on his name. And just real quick, Donovan Mitchell was on his way, Fabian. I think this season he put everybody on notice. He's not there yet with SGA, but he's right. He's on his heels. And what's going to help him is that the organization can keep that great team together and don't do no dumb shit. Like how Flea always say, you continue to upgrade. Do not take away from the team. Like the dumb shit Denver does every year. You get rid of Bruce Brown. You get rid of this player, this player. So I think platforms like ours and like Flea said just beautifully, Donovan Mitchell is getting his flowers. They talk about them. They give them props, but he's not there yet. But he's right there. And I've been saying it. Best 2 guard in the NBA. I'm not arguing with nobody no more. Miss me with Devin Booker. Miss me with Bane. Miss me with all them niggas. Donovan Mitchell this season has been the best shooting guard in the NBA. I'm sorry.
Oh, we got it on the thumbnail. And Jason Tatum, as much as we props we're trying to give him, we still don't have him as a forefront winner for the MVP. We don't even have him as number 2. And SGA, we were saying it a couple years ago, and it was still a John Morant in the conversation. I was saying, yo, y'all sure John Morant is as good as SGA? He picked up, it was 2 seasons ago. He started shooting 51%, 34% from 3, 90% from the free throw line. And that's what keyed in on me. He dropped from 5 3-point attempts a game to 2.5. And then he got to the free throw line 11 times a game that year, 8 times since, 9 times since. But that 90% from the free throw line, 88% from the free throw line, shooting over 50% from the field in the last 3 seasons. That's why he's forefront winner of the MVP conversation. He's flat out dominant. He can get you the assists, and it feels like over the Tatums of the world and even the Donovan Mitchells of the world, he takes over the game more than they do. Like, as much as even Luka has that in that sense. That's why I think I like Luka more than Tatum, because there's nothing you could do with SGA and Tatum. SGA and Luka Doncic. SGA don't give up his dribble unless he sees that shot or that next play. What he did against us, he turned up. He has that extra gear where it's like, oh, he's focused. He's locked in. All his shots are from the paint. Mid-range guy. He shot 11 3-pointers against Denver earlier today, but he knew this was a big game against Joker. This was old school mano a mano. We see Barkley versus the Bulls on a Sunday night, on a Sunday afternoon. He wants to show Michael Jordan, nah, I'm the MVP. That was one of these games today. And SGA, to me, he had the I guess he's not going to be an outright superstar like the Ant-Mans of the world, but from that moment when I was asking 3 years ago, y'all got John Moran up here, but I don't know if he's fucking with SGA. Ever since then, I'm not saying I was proven right, but he's gone even past that I thought. It's a perennial MVP candidate now. That's different, AllBall. I didn't expect this.
Well, you and Fabian, I mean, excuse me, you and Flea have been telling me about SGA for a couple years now, and I was very reluctant. And Flea, you know my motto, man. When I'm wrong, like I said, 99.999. Hey, man, I'm wrong. And I wound up having to eat crow. Y'all been on this, so I got to give y'all props. The young man is the real deal, and sometimes it's no more excuses. Sometimes there's nothing more to say. When somebody is night in and night out giving you 40 clips, 50 clips, their team is clearly looking like the best team in the NBA. Like I said, that talk is between three teams: OKC, Cleveland, Boston. Either one you think is the best team in the NBA, you can't go wrong. But clearly, OKC is there. And when you watch what this man does, and let's not forget, he plays defense. He's all NBA first team, probably defense as well. He's probably one of the best defenders at his position when it comes to being a superstar. The young man is the real deal. And that game I watched today, because I watch OKC games, but today, for some reason, I just tuned in. Like I said, this is him against the Joker. And I watched. And at times, it was a great game, back and forth, back and forth. And big shout out to Fish. We was on the phone, and we was watching the game. And we both like, yo, damn, this is a hell of a game. And then SGA just said, you know what? Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Let me get this shit out the way. I love the Joker. His numbers is great. But we have to start being honest when it comes to being the best player in the NBA and being considered one of the greats. You have to play some type of defense. Joker on the defensive end, to me, that's what's going to set him apart from being compared to the Hakeems and some of the greats. And what SGA does on both ends of the floor is ridiculous. But that young man this season has set himself apart from everybody. I'm sorry. And what helps him is he understands the business part of it. I'm going to make myself a brand. I'm going to draw a whole lot of attention to myself, whether it's from how he dressed, his social media presence, just everything. And what makes him great is I'm also going to show y'all on the court I am the real deal. Listen, Joker numbers is beautiful. But come on, man. OKC has been the number one and the best team in that conference on the West Coast for the whole duration of the season. That has to count for something. And like I said, man, the young man is the real deal. He takes over games. He can get to the basket. He got the mid-range. He got the layup package. He can shoot the three. And like I said, he's a great teammate. Listen, the young man is the real deal. And I'm not arguing with nobody about that. I think today is what set himself apart from Joker. Today, he outplayed Joker. He outdueled Joker. And they won. They blew them niggas out. It was a close game, and then SGA just said enough is enough. So I think this year, SGA set himself apart from everybody. And this year, he will be deserving of that MVP. Greatest Joker numbers is SGA is averaging 30. He's the number one seed. They're probably going to win 60 games, 60 plus. I don't know how nobody can argue with that. No, I'm not arguing with nobody about that. This year, that young man is the best player in the NBA. I'm sorry. And I'm not going to say by far because you do have the Jokers, the Tatums, guys that's playing great basketball. Giannis with the great numbers. But when we talk about numbers and then you have everything else to go with it, the record, the team record, the defense, the all-star, the all-NBA first, young man is the real deal. I was wrong a couple years ago. My brothers was right. They always right. They always make me look like an idiot, which I'm fine. SGA is the real fucking deal, man. I'm sorry. And this year, he should be clear-cut MVP. It should be no argument. It should be no argument.
Good, Fleet. What you think about SGA's? Maybe the last 3 seasons or just this game today, was it the stamp on what he's been doing? The season, the last couple years, showing you that you don't have to start off. You were the one telling me he came out of Kentucky, right? With not Maxi, our guy was IQ, right?
No, he was before them. He's before
Okay.
them. So I'm drawing a blank right now who's on the team with him in Kentucky, but
to be traded, not as a throw-in, but we didn't think about, oh, you getting Paul George. I mean, we know he was a young guy, but you were the one telling me, like, nah, I thought he was nice in Kentucky.
I thought he was very. My man said, yo, take a look at this kid. I started watching this kid, especially when Kentucky made the tournament that year, and he was a hell of a player. Then you see flashes with the Clippers. And I know everybody loves to hate Doc Rivers, but Doc Rivers came out and said himself, I wasn't comfortable giving him up. I didn't think we should have gave him up, right? But, you know, you go get Paul George and you gotta see what you can get because you didn't know what SGA was going to turn into. And now he gets that 1 year of kind of tutelage under Chris Paul, right? They go to the playoffs. I think that's the bubble or whatever that was, and he got a little bit of that stuff on him. Because before I used to think he wasn't tough, or you could kind of punk him if you got a little physical with him and things like that. And you can't do that with him. You get physical with him, he's gonna go right to the line. Get physical with me, I'm gonna go right to the line. And what was Fabian saying? 88 to 90% from the line? Yeah. Foul me if you want to, because now I'm gonna go get 40 from the free throw line on you. Go ahead if you want to, because I know how to manipulate defenses. I'm a great free throw shooter. I know how to pass the ball. I know how to get off of it, right? And then there's nobody in the NBA that could really stay in front of him. He has a counter for every counter. His footwork is great. And then it's not enough talked about his size. He's 6'6", maybe 6'7". That's a huge advantage when you're at the point guard position, and a lot of these guys are 6'6" and below, or 6'5" and below, or 6'4" and below. So now you get you can take advantage of your matchup every time. You got to have bigger wings come out against you and guard you. He's long, right? And so he's making a huge difference over there in OKC, and he has so for the last 3 to 4 years. This is just really like the culminating point of his young career. You got to give him the MVP this year. I don't think, has Joker been great? I was thinking about this before I got on here with you. I was like, the toughest segment for me tonight was going to be this one right here. Everything else I felt like I was, we could talk about, I was cool with. I had a clear stance. This one for me, it was tough for me because Joker's phenomenal, y'all. If y'all not what, like, he is phenomenal in terms of how he affects everywhere on the basketball court. And we talk about his defense. He's not Elijah Wan, Patrick Ewing, David Robinson in terms of blocking shots and being that rim protector, but he's close to 280 pounds. You're not going to move him, right? You're not going to get him on your back and say, you're fooled. He's not a cone out there, right? He's just not that imposing guy in the paint that's going to block shots all day long. So I can understand that. We're not going to compare him to that. But that is not going to keep him out of the conversation of top 5, top 10 bigs of all time. We're talking about 3-time MVP. Ain't no 3-time MVPs or nothing not considered the best of the best. So we're not about to start doing that with Joker now. Like, it's hard for me, but SGA has put his stamp on the season. And like OG said, being able to go head up against the guy that is right there with you in MVP caliber, like, SGA's been phenomenal, just been phenomenal. And guys are playing off of him really great. Isaiah Hartenstein looks great next to him. Jalen Williams is an all-star next to him. Lou Dort, one of the best defenders, playing next to him. Like, it's infectious. He's playing well, so all these other guys are playing well. Can't wait for them to get Chet back regularly, right? Chet is back in and out of the lineup, but once he gets back regularly, how does he feed off of SGA, right? This team is so good. SGA has put this team in a position to be so good that now they're talking about Kevin Durant coming back to OKC. That don't happen if SGA is not as great as he's been. It just doesn't happen, y'all. So I got to roll. Again, I told y'all I was dreading doing this segment with my brothers because I felt like I was going to flip flop, but I got to roll with SGA. Although Joker is just phenomenal.
What you just said right now reminded me of what I love about Steph Curry. Eventually, LeBron, Miami. You know how I feel about Miami's offense, the Heat's offense. And there was a difference between Donovan Mitchell, even De'Aaron Fox for a long time, and SGA. The fact that you have that one-on-one style, and now these guys could play your style, play off of you. It's hard being. We talk about all the greats. We Carmelo, all these guys. KD, he can get into a one-on-one kind of rhythm that can lose the energy off the team. But to figure out how to keep your rhythm to score and then still have your teammates feel involved, that is another reason why. And because you're shooting 50% from the field, but they're also like moving off the ball, and Jalen Williams playing alongside him and having, no matter what piece you have around them, #1 seed. Donovan Mitchell just started doing that this year, if we're being real. It took
Donovan was
Atkinson to be
always
like
a volume scorer, for sure, Fabian. Always a volume guy. So being able to be as efficient as he is now is a big reason why Cleveland is. That's a great point. That's a great point.
But even the other thing where you always say what Atkinson says, just having, trust these guys, just give the ball up, I promise you. Because Atkinson also knew we got 6-7 guys that can put the ball on the floor, bro. Like, give the ball up. You're gonna get it back, trust me. And SGA, he kind of had that, which is kind of the reason why I think Joker might also lose it. Who makes the game easier for Joker really over there in Denver? I don't know if anybody does. Hartenstein makes that game easier for SGA. Chet makes that game easier for SGA. And it's an easier path to those victories. And we know that's always been the thing for anyone who's going to win the MVP. They're going to go with that guy, with that #1 seed.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's going to be a tough race. Like Fleet said, we got a lot of games left, and let's see what happens. Because you never know, man. What if SGA cools off, and what if Joker goes on a crazy another run, or vice versa? So I think this is going to be a great MVP race. For me, like I said, as great as Joker is, what SGA has done all season, and to have the bullseye on your back, to me, that's very underrated. To be the #1 team all season, to have the bullseye on your back, knowing that every time you go play, teams are looking to beat you. And, they're not folding. They're young. And listen, man, I just think SGA this season has been the best player in the NBA. Like I said, I don't mind Joker being a close second runner-up. But nobody can tell me this season Joker has been playing better than SGA. I'm not going for that. I'm sorry. Now, maybe, SGA got a better team, things of that nature. But like I said, I don't think Denver has a bad team. It's just them guys got to play better on a consistent basis. Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon's been hurt. But listen, I just think SGA has been playing great basketball all season. And what he did, I think to me, that was the deal breaker for who's going to be MVP this season. And he outplayed Joker, and they blew them niggas out.
Let me ask y'all a question. I know we got one more spot we need to get to. I know OG, there was a spot OG wanted to get to. I didn't want to miss that. But real quick, we don't got to stay here too long. I know we think OKC is the real deal. Our family in the chat, I think, for the most part, think that they a solid team. But let me ask you, y'all think the rest of the NBA is afraid of OKC? Does the rest of the NBA look at, because why I'm asking that is OG said something and it stuck out just now. He said they've been the best team in the league and there's a bullseye on their back. Now, for me, usually the bullseye comes on your back when you win a championship and you come back and now everybody is hunting after you. But do y'all really think that the rest of the league takes this team as a threat, or is it still, you got to show me before I think you like that?
Well, when Draymond Green made that comment about OKC, it started right there. If you ain't thinking about nobody, you ain't responding to them. You ain't worrying about what they doing.
Right. Okay.
Y'all not telling me that the rest of the league is not looking at OKC They're young, they talented, they're having fun, and you're not telling me the rest of the league is looking and going, we want to beat them niggas. Listen, man. Yeah, they have a target on their back. They're the best team in the NBA damn near for the whole season. Let's call it what it is. And I think when Draymond Green said what he said, right then and there showed me, oh, y'all paying these young niggas some mind. Because if they wasn't a threat, if nobody wasn't really nervous or scared, you wouldn't be saying nothing about them. You'll be a fool right now if you're a team going up against OKC and you ain't worrying about them niggas. Are you kidding me? They are great at every position. And they are deep. And they are well coached. And let's not forget, they have a super duper star. We have superstars, then we have super duper stars. Right now, if you're talking LeBron, KD, Joker, Embiid, Tatum, he's that this season. Giannis. So for me, Flea, people want to try to find a reason to not, because they haven't won or they haven't done anything. I get that part. But when this team is constructed how they are, and you watch night in, night out how they play, and then they have a guy that can give you a 40 clip on any given night, they have to be a threat. And you have to be a little nervous and scared when you play against them because you can get embarrassed. Who knows better than our fucking Knicks? Get the floor mopped.
Real quick before Fabian goes, I'm not saying I don't think they're the real deal. I just know, and I think I just think we all know how this thing works. You could play great regular season basketball. The reason why we think this Cleveland Cavaliers team is different is because we've watched year after year after year them play great regular season basketball and get in the playoffs and not figure out things, right? They be able to be exploited. Certain guys just not ready to, like OG says, take that next step, take that leap to win high pressure leveled games. I'll go back to that Dallas series last year. Now, of course, they're older, right? They're a year older now. So now you got a taste of what it's like to be in high pressure situations. How do they react this year? I'm going to be interested to see.
Just real quick before Fabian go, remember last season they didn't have Hardenstein. They didn't have, what's my man from Chicago?
Caruso. Makes a difference.
They didn't have Caruso or Hardenstein. Right. So for me, that is a big difference. But go ahead, Fabian. I'm sorry.
I just want to see what they look like in the playoffs. Go ahead, Ray.
No, but I think when Draymond said that, that's the good thing I like about Draymond. He be talking too much when he shouldn't, but he gives us inside information on what the hell they're saying. I think the NBA does feel that way because there is some hardened game to SGA. Does that game translate to the playoffs? You a foul beta, you a foul merchant. Ant-Man has called them out plenty of times. So yeah, we like Hartenstein. That was a good platoon for Chet. They were missing that, but they're still kind of soft up front. Hartenstein or Chet get in foul trouble, they're not deep up front. They can't just out-rebound you like that. So that leads you to, you got a hole in your game. You got a crack in your game, as opposed to when Draymond spoke about the Cleveland Cavaliers. First thing Cleveland talks about is, we remember that season, the series 2 years ago against y'all. The lights were too bright for Jared Allen. They talk about it all the time. They referenced it the last time they played us. Kenny Atkinson makes sure to call out Mobley and Allen a lot. Donovan Mitchell, them guys are too, they soft-spoken, man. They don't speak enough. I told them, you yelling out for the switch, you got to yell. Enough is enough with all this. So I don't know if I hear enough coming from OKC. They did kind of clap back at Draymond, basically responding to him after the post-game interview. Bring the team back together, because he referenced the team, trying to have too much fun being there after the game, even though they're just having fun. Why is the team crowded up after a post-game interview together? They're not serious about a championship, this, that, and the third. And after Draymond played Cleveland, he's like, nah, they're the real deal. They passed that ball. We can't keep up with them. But that was before Jimmy Butler. So for a player to bow down like that and give you some information like that, why is he saying that? Is the SGA foul merchant thing, is there some credence to it? Who else can they go to if SGA can't score and get it going? Can Jalen Williams be the number 2? I don't know that. Bill Simmons made a great point, and maybe y'all could tell me better. I want to see Flea's face when I say this. Well, I forgot what school Jalen Williams went to, but he said it wasn't a big school.
Washington.
And when you don't go to a big school, he's like, yo, I thought about Paul Pierce when he went to Kansas. He goes, yo, I want to come in here and go crazy and have this stadium. And if you've never been in front of that crowd and now you're going to the league, all right, you have to be tested in front of a big crowd like that. What Floyd always say, oh, boy, everybody's tough till them lights come on. Them lights, different.
But I'm just respond quick. I'm not going to try to sit there and convince myself OKC is the real deal. SGA is it's going to be tough for, when you say what are they going to do if he can't score? It's going to be tough. I'm not, the odds on that is very high. But I think that kid Williams is good enough. His confidence is high. And, for me, I'm just the old guy on the porch that sometimes I'm very reluctant, as y'all know, to give young guys props and be like, yo, you know what? Nah, let's hold off. But I've watched OKC enough now to really understand they the real deal. And I'm not convincing myself they are the real deal. And like Flea said, once Chet gets going and he's there on a consistent basis and he's healthy, you talk about Williams. What happens when Chet now gets going? And they have right, and they have the defenders on the other side that can play tough defense. So I just think it's tough to give a young team props when you still have the KDs, the LeBrons, the Giannis's, the Currys still in the league. It's very hard for some people to let go. Me at my age, I'm starting to let go and understand. Listen, bro, these young dudes, Tatum, and like I said, SGA, Donovan, these guys is coming. And what they're doing, remember, it's a projection, Flea, like people say. What they've been doing all season is hard for me to say that they're not going to do this in the playoffs when a lot of the great teams still have older players. Curry, LeBron. So for me, listen, man, I'm not convincing myself SGA and them ain't going to do what it's supposed to do. They had a good season last season, and now they add two very important pieces. I think that's what puts them over the hump.
Ray, before we get to the last spot, could you tell me what 7 through 10 looks like in the Western Conference right now?
Definitely.
And I only bring that up because I just wanted to see potentially who OKC could see in the first round. Because it ain't going to be the Pelicans like they did last year.
Well, 7th is the Timberwolves, 8th the Clippers, Kings in 9th, Mavericks in 10th. And Phoenix is a game behind the Mavericks for 10th. And Golden State is in 6th by 1 game ahead of the Timberwolves. So OKC could potentially play Golden State, Minnesota, Clippers, Kings, or the Mavericks, or the Suns.
So OKC has had a better season than everybody that you named just now, right?
Wow.
All I'm saying is that when you get into the playoffs now, it's back to 0-0. Now we're game planning for 2 weeks straight of seeing you for 2 weeks. This is not, I see you tomorrow and I'm off to Utah and then I'm off to Miami. No, we're going to see you every night for 2 weeks straight. And you playing the Clippers, that's good. I'm just saying, playoffs is about matchups, y'all. We've been watching this. Everybody in the chat's been watching the game just as probably as long as us. Y'all know playoffs is about matchups. What does it look like? That Dallas team was the best team all season long. Dirk was the MVP. And that Golden State team with Barron and Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes, we believe, they walked them niggas down because the matchup wasn't the greatest. Was the Dallas team better? For sure. But just the matchup wasn't the best for them. It just wasn't. So that's just one example. There's plenty of other examples that we can name. That matchup in 94, Denver, Seattle. Seattle was clearly the best team all year long. And Mutombo and Brian Stitt and Reggie Williams, they walk in there. Robert Pack.
Yeah.
And they walk in there and walk them down, right? Like, it's about matchups. So, yes, OKC, best team in the NBA all season long. But if they pull a tough matchup, they're going to have to play.
AllBall, who's the toughest matchup from those 5 teams? Golden State, Minnesota.
Like what you doing, Fabian?
Clippers, Kings.
Go ahead, OG. What you got for us?
Mavericks.
Until the Mavericks are healthy, I'm not going to add them in this because, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen in the playoffs. To me, Kyrie is done for the season. You know, AD, Lively, Gafford, like, so, you know, of course, I think if Denver was fully healthy, I'm taking Denver. But I'm sorry, Dallas. But there's two teams in that first round that's going to be a legit threat to OKC. And it's the Clippers and it's the Golden State Warriors. I think Kawhi Leonard is relaxing and resting until the playoffs. A guy like that, he doesn't care what seed he is. He doesn't care if it's home court advantage, none of that. So for me, there's two teams that OKC need to be careful if they play in the first round. Should OKC win? Yes. But would I be surprised if they get upset? No. To me, it's the Clippers and it's Golden State because both of those teams have champions on there. They have championship head coaches on there. And they have finals MVPs on there. And they have guys on there that have a lot of pride. And that's the real deal. And when it comes to playoff basketball, they know everything about them bright lights. As much as I like Minnesota, I don't think they're a threat to OKC. But to me, those two teams, the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors, that's going to be something to watch.
You missed two things with that, OG. And I just want to add to what you said because I think the two teams that you picked are perfect. But I just think to couple what you just said, those two teams have championship level coaches. Ty Lue and Steve Kerr. If I'm in the trenches with them coaches on my sideline, I'm cool. If I'm in a dogfight 7-game series, the series is tied 2-2. I'm cool. I'm comfortable with going into game 5 as Ty Lue is my head coach or Steve Kerr is my head coach. And I think you named two teams that if they see them in the first round, Lord have mercy. Okay, SGA, you're gonna have a phenomenal series. You have to be that guy in that series.
I think for our guy, our brother, shout out to Dime Dropper.
Big Dime. Damn it.
For his sake. For Demon Dime's sake, the Clippers either miss the playoffs or make the 7th seed, please. You cannot lose to SGA and the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round.
Ooh,
they're getting y'all up out of there. Kawhi, you too old for this, man. Them boys ain't playing. I think their toughest matchup, you sleeping on Minnesota. They had a crazy game about 3 weeks ago. Crazy game, and Ant-Man didn't even have a good game. He was sitting down. Rob Dillingham was coming back.
Against OKC.
Yes, Dante came back in the game. That's when he blocked SGA's.
Yeah, great game.
That's the matchup I want to see. But
I like that. Minnesota has won 4 in a row now, y'all. When Minnesota has been playing good basketball. Minnesota is a half a game back. If I'm not mistaken, they are half game back on Golden State right now for the 6th seed. They on their heels. They playing good ball. They're getting their guys back. Randall's healthy now. DiVincenzo is healthy. They getting their team together. So I like those two teams that you said though, OG. Golden State and the Clippers. You hit us on this. You hit us and you was eager. You were eager to talk about Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and the Golden State Warriors. I'll segue it for you, Fabian. Let me cook. Hold on.
No, wait. You ain't got to segue. Hold on a second.
I took his job. I took his job.
You ain't take nothing. You said he hit us on the side. Number 1, big pause. Number 2,
all right, pause. That's fine.
Your man was over here producing on the sideline because he keeps his eyes on the prize, baby, Bubba. Basketball season is heating up, and Prize Picks is the best place to get real money action while watching your favorite sports. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win and receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks.
Run your game. Baby Bubba.
Oh boy, if you like to segue it now, Flair, go right ahead.
I'm cool. You stepped all on it for the proper reason, so I'm cool. Well, OG talked to us about the Golden State Warriors. That's what I
I'll segue myself. So Big shout out to everybody in the chat rocking with us over an hour. Please hit the like button, share, like, subscribe, please. And y'all see the promo code CLNS. Prize picks. Your eyes on the prize, baby. But please hit that like button. But I think we need to just briefly discuss Golden State Warriors. Well, I wanted to touch on this, and I would love y'all response. We don't have to stay but so long. But I want to talk about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler has gotten a lot of flack for what was going on in Miami with Pat Riley. And for over the years, we've been, discussing Jimmy Butler. Is he a star? Is he a superstar? Is he even a good player? Does he deserve any props? Because, he doesn't play as much in the playoffs. Then he goes to Golden State. And I was the first to say, I don't know what the hell that was. And then when they even signed him and gave him the extension and, gave him all that money, I said, Lord have mercy. Golden State was desperate. But now seeing that since he's been there, they are 10-2. Are we forgetting that Jimmy Butler with the Miami Heat has been to 2 finals? He's been to a couple conference finals. Is Jimmy Butler a difference maker? I know, a lot of us don't like him, don't like, whatever it is about him. But when we talk about these great players, should Jimmy Butler's name be mentioned? The Golden State Warriors are now a legit, I'm not going to say title contenders, but like we just said, they can be a threat to the OKC Thunder, who is clearly the best team in the West. What is it about Jimmy Butler that makes him this good? I'm still trying to figure it out. He goes to Golden State, and now he has been the fountain of youth for Steph Curry. Nobody believes in him. He's undersized. He doesn't shoot the 3 well. But everywhere he goes, he tends to win or be a winner. Like y'all said, when he went to Minnesota, how long were they in a drought from missing the playoffs? They get to the playoffs. We know what he did in Chicago. You go to Philly, listen, Kawhi Leonard doesn't hit that magical shot. No telling what happens. And I know if was a fifth, I know that saying, but I'm just saying, he goes to Miami, and can we just be honest? Pat Riley handled this wrong. Jimmy Butler said, I need some help. And now we see he gets help, or he goes to help, and he looks like the old Jimmy Butler in Miami that everybody was afraid of. We could sit up there and make excuses all we want. The Miami Heat, when they were fully healthy with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, with all those guys that wasn't drafted or second-round draft picks, were a legit threat to the whole East and to the Boston Celtics. Do we have to start putting more respect on Jimmy Butler's name? That's what I want to ask y'all. And should teams actually be scared of Golden State Warriors in the playoffs?
I've never lost respect with Jimmy Butler. The fact that game-winning shot in Philly by Kawhi Leonard, what he did in Minnesota, sometimes you got to make your own luck. Jimmy Butler has been making way too much luck in his career for someone who's not LeBron and KD and these guys. And don't forget the game winner he missed against Boston to bring him to 3 NBA championships. I've said it from that time period in Miami. There's Pat Riley messed that up. You know who Jimmy Butler is. He's a diva. And to your point, y'all ain't getting me no help. Go get me some help. Or word, you ain't getting me no help, so I ain't playing. I ain't playing, but when I show up, for the most part, I do get you to the far deep in the playoffs, and I show up in the regular season. But I'm not giving you 62, 72 games, and I got to carry the team also in the playoffs. I'm not built that way. He's not LeBron and KD. So the fact that he is pulling that off, he's doing what you traded him for. So we're seeing in real time. That's why it was a great question that you asked, because now if they go further in the playoffs, this adds to his legacy. He's not stinking up Steph Curry's legacy. They're kind of using each other now to get further in the playoffs. And the first thing I thought, or one of the first things I thought when he got traded there was, these are 2 options you got at the end of the game. Same thing with the Lakers. The game starts getting tight. Who would you rather have the ball than the Lukas, LeBrons of the world, Steph Curry's of the world, and Jimmy Butler's of the world? They got somebody else besides Draymond out there who's a nutcase, He could go full throttle, and he's a. Can I say he's a playoff legend, Flea? Is that fair? Not impressed. But to see Draymond, the only thing I don't like about this AllBall is Draymond gets to play through June possibly. I want him to drown, bro. I told you the other day, Draymond, I don't wish you well at all. At all. I don't want any success for that dude, bro. Fuck him. He's talking way too much. He got away with enough. You made enough too much. You made enough of your luck, bro. Jimmy Butler going over there helps Draymond Green. And I'm disgusted, Flea. That's all.
I never usually get the last word, so this feels kind of good. Listen.
We will make sure it never happens again.
It never happens again, right, OG? Nah. Listen, look, I look at it like this, man. Jimmy Butler is the caliber of player that when he comes into your team, when he comes to your organization, there is going to be a hefty honeymoon period. And I think they're going through the honeymoon period right now. They're playing great basketball. Nobody has any tape or any film or any. The scouting report is hard right now. They don't know how to defend this Golden State team yet, right? This has been about 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks, a month or so, right? 12 games. How many games did we say? About 12 games or so.
Well, they 10-2,
and they 10-2, right? They're playing beautiful basketball. All the things that are going right for Golden State are great. Steph Curry's playing at a high level. Draymond Green has become the utility, the utility knife that he's been his entire career. He's hitting big shots. He's grabbing rebounds. He's still finding guys, passing the ball extremely well. He's playing good basketball right now, as tough as that is for me to say, because we all feel this. All three of us feel the same way about Draymond Green. But if we call it a spade, he is playing really good basketball right now. But my whole thing is this. Golden State's success over the time that we've seen them win championships, even when they had a Kevin Durant, they had so many ancillary pieces that helped them get to where they were going. And for me, Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green are not enough for them to go where they need to go. It's just not enough. They're playing phenomenal basketball right now. They'll probably contend. They'll probably knock somebody off in the playoffs. We'll probably find Golden State in the second round of the playoffs just because how good that they're playing. But there's nobody over there. Kuminga's dirt. Get him out of here. He's not somebody that I can trust.
I was just gonna.
He's not somebody that I trust in the playoffs in a Western Conference Finals for Kuminga to come and help me win 2 or 3 games. Sorry, I like Kuminga. But he's not that guy. He's not. So who is that guy? Moses Moody starts now. Is Moses Moody going to step up? Who is their big? Right? Kevon Looney is good. That young boy Post has never seen the playoffs. This is the most regular season games he's ever played. He's a rookie. I'm just saying the makeup of their roster in past years and what they've been able to win with is experience, defense, and other guys that they can rely on to put the ball in the basket. We hate Jordan Poole. He was amazing in the 22 playoffs. We have all this stuff to say about Andrew Wiggins. Amazing in the 22 NBA playoffs. Right? Who is going to be the guy aside from their guys, aside from Steph, aside from Jimmy? It took Draymond a second to rev his engine up in the 2022 playoffs. He wasn't great that whole playoffs. Right? Who's going to be the guy for them? So I just think this is a nice honeymoon period. They playing good. We'll see what happens in May and June for them.
Fabian, before you get us out of here, I'm going to just say this. Y'all both, appreciate y'all for answering, my questions and elaborating on it. But I'm going to just say this. We said the same thing about Jimmy Butler in Miami, bro. Year in and year out.
You called him a superstar.
No. Right. Because I'm being honest. What he was doing in the playoffs and getting to the finals.
Wow.
Right?
He was wild.
But once again, all I'm gonna say is this: the things that we continue to say about Jimmy Butler, Fabian, you hit it on the nose. He is the luckiest player in the NBA, and I don't know how he does it. We're going to sit here and say once again, what in the hell did he just do? What he did in Miami is almost impossible with those rosters. I'm sorry. And then now he gets to go to state and does this. So, like I said, we're going to see, but I just think, that needs to be spoken about because once again, I don't think nobody's seen this. I know I didn't. I immediately said this was a bad trade. I don't know why they did that. But like you said, Flea, we will see. All I'm saying is he defeated the odds in Miami. And now you're playing along Steph Curry, who now looks like he has a fountain of youth. Never know. Go ahead, Fabian. I'm sorry.
Nah, I will say this. Thank you, Michael James. And thank you for, being a member and always contributing, commenting. But Buddy Hield is actually the X factor for them. This is when I totally side with Flea on this one. Buddy Hield, Kyle Korver, Harrison Barnes are legit legendary bums in the playoffs for me, or big time shots. That guy is
I thought he was going somewhere totally different.
Right.
I thought he was going somewhere totally different. Legendary bums is insane.
Yo. Buddy Hield be pissing me off because they said, he got the second most 3-pointers since around Steph Curry. I'm like, why let me watch some Sacramento games? Garbage. Buddy Hield is big garbage. Oh my God. Yo.
He can shoot, baby. The dude can shoot the basketball.
That was funny. That was funny.
I didn't think he was going there.
Me neither. I did not know. I did not know this take was coming. Go ahead, man. Please cook.
Go ahead, Ray.
Take us home. You got it. Take us home,
please.
I'm at peace, man, because Flea's trying to irk me with this. No, he could shoot. That's what I was told. I saw the video tape, my brother.
All ball suckers.
We live?
Big Flea. Never the little one, y'all. Happy Sunday to everybody. Hope everybody have a good week. Fabian!
Legendary bump is so fire.
It's so fire. It's so fire.
Wow.
When do the Knicks play? I don't even know.
Play
tomorrow.
Oh, hold on. I'm
Sacramento,
sorry.
NBA TV.
Don't put us on the spot. Monday afternoon? Are we live?
Yeah. Talk to him. Talk to him.
I ain't trying to W, Flea. I'm really asking, are we going live on my
Nah, you try to take my shit. You try to take my shit. It's cool. It's our shit.
Right. Well, man, big shout out Molly.
I got you, right?
Big shout out Molly Moore pulling up late in the building. But big shout out everybody. But we just want to give y'all a heads up while we got some of y'all in the building, man. We're going to be going live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesdays will be up in the air, but we're going to be going live Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the afternoons, 3 to 5. And we're going to be talking about all the hot topics in sports, predominantly basketball. But yes, y'all will have AllBall TV live in the afternoons from 3 to 5. We need y'all to tell a friend, support, show love, hit that like button. But once again, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 3 to 5, AllBall TV. We will be going live on YouTube, and we will be prepped. We will be professional. We will have our stats, and we will be going live on YouTube, talking about all the hottest topics. So forget First Take, forget ESPN, forget Colin, forget all of them. Fuck them all. Pull up. We in the building, y'all. So yeah, man, live weekdays, 3 to 5 Eastern time. We are in the building, y'all, and we will be talking about some of the topics. And some of y'all put some topics in the chat, and we'll show love, give you a shout out, and we'll talk about your topic. But yes, we'll be doing 3 to 4 topics live, 3 to 5 Eastern time, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Pull up, man. We will be live in the building.
Flea, are we live?
Big Flea, never the little one.
Good night, fellas.
This is fire, man. AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.